Yeah.
Bro, I just want to ask you this. Usyk, no doubt, is going to go down as a great fighter. One of the greatest fighters of all time.
Absolutely.
Arguably the greatest cruiserweight, right? He'd probably be the greatest cruiserweight.
I mean, it's arguably
Now,
between him and Evander Holyfield, right? You could make the
Some
argument.
people might say, in terms of skill set, Usyk has more tools in his lockup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. We're just looking at the heavyweight division. Will Usyk, even though he's 2 times undisputed champion in a 4-belt era in the heavyweight division, would you consider him amongst the top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time, considering his resume in the heavyweight division is not that deep and the caliber of opponents that he's faced, they're not comparable to a Mike Tyson, to a Lennox Lewis, to a Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, George Foreman? Would you place Oleksandr Usyk in the heavyweight division? Would you rank him in the top 10 greatest of all time?
Look, I think that is a compelling argument. That is an absolutely compelling, because when Usyk beat Daniel Dubois, I came out and said Usyk is one of the GOATs. I think I put a video out. It's still out on my channel, and people had their opinions about it. I would say Usyk is in the top 10 heavyweights of all time. I know the argument that he hasn't had the deep resume in the heavyweight division.
He's only four guys in the heavyweight division.
He's only four guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Guys.
However, we have to judge fighters what they've done in their time. We can't judge them, against Ali or Mike Tyson or Lewis. It wouldn't be fair, right? It is not fair to judge them on. But what we can do is we can look at the things that he's done during the time that he reigned. See who because if Usyk won a vacant title against, just pick a fighter out, right? If Usyk won vacant title against, the 15th ranked fighter in the heavyweight division, I would go, there's no way he's in he's in the conversation to become, an all-time great in the top 10. But look at who Usyk have fought and look at what they were in this era. Anthony Joshua, Joshua would go down as a British legend. Joshua, at the end of his career, Joshua will get into the Hall of Fame. I think he should. I saw that the Americans were making an argument that he shouldn't. That's crazy. That's ludicrous.
Now, Joshua goes in the Hall of Fame on impact alone.
Yeah, impact alone, about things that he's done for British boxing and so forth, right? Look at Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is not the most decorated heavyweight, but in every heavyweight era, you've had fighters like Dubois who are in and around that time, and they give fighters a tough time. And he was a champion as well, Dubois, right? So you have to look at that. He beat Joshua twice, beat Fury twice. Fury, according to people, is one of the great fighters of this generation. I don't think so. I don't think Fury is one of the great fighters I think Fury is very good, but his resume and his title defenses are not great.
Yeah.
So I can't.
His resume is not deep at all. I think he's only fought 1 or 2 top-ranked fighters in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, so I can't put Fury in an all-time top 10. No way. Probably all-time 50, maybe, but not all-time top 10. So you look at Usyk beating Fury twice, Joshua twice, Derek Chisora. In every era, you've had fighters like Derek Chisora there that will give you a tough time. Daniel Dubois, the same, right? If you look at that, and Usyk beats, whoever he fights again after fighting Verhoeven, if he does that, I don't think you could say Usyk is not in the top 10 of all time.
Nah, if he fights Fury after that, we can't count him.
No.
If he fights Fury again and beats Fury.
It doesn't count.
If he fights Daniel Dubois and beats Daniel Dubois again, we're not even counting this fight.
It doesn't count.
He has to fight Caballero or someone new.
Yeah. If Usyk fights Caballero and beats Caballero, or Wardley and beats Wardley,
now you're talking.
Then if someone comes, what do you think, Bright? Do you think that Usyk is in the top 10? I would say, look, let's not even talk about it. He should be in there without having an argument about it, because he's deserved. If he beats Caballero or Wardley, then absolutely, because there's nobody else to beat. What is it? Should he?
There's no one else to beat.
Should he beat? No.
There's no. He's beat the best guys
in the division.
That time. In the division. And I'm gonna ask the audience this: do us a favor, get involved, engage.
Get in the comments.
Let us know in the comments, where would you rank? Actually, let me ask this:
Usyk.
Would you rank Oleksandr Usyk in the top 10 greatest? Listen to this. greatest heavyweights of all time. I'm not talking boxing. I'm talking heavyweights. In the cruiserweight division, he's cemented. He's got that. Get involved. Let us know in the comments, man. Me and Brad will respond to your comments. Get involved. You know what I mean? Like, definitely. We really want to get to know what you're thinking as well.
Like I said, it's a compelling argument. And right now, as Usyk has not retired yet, I think everybody has got a little bit of an argument. But I think we need to wait until he retires to conclude the argument, whether he's in the top 10 or he's not.
Yeah.
But for me, based on what he's done right now in the division, I think he is. I think he is. And it'll be interesting
I don't think he is.
You don't think he is?
Nah, bro. If I start listing the heavyweights right now and their resumes.
Yeah. No, I know.
Look at Lennox Lewis. Bro, look at Lennox Lewis. Look at the fights Lennox Lewis fought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, man.
Yeah,
but listen, maybe this could be a video for another time. We can actually break it down. We can look at some of the greatest heavyweights of all time. We can compare resume. Maybe that's for the next podcast. We can discuss.
I think that's something that we need to do because you're right. Yeah. If you look at resume as in heavyweight resume, you've got Sonny Liston. People don't even talk about Sonny Liston a lot, right? Incredible resume,
George Foreman.
Power.
George Foreman, heavyweight champion. Why is he? He was 46 years old or whatever. He was 20 years older than the guy he beat.
Yeah. Larry Holmes has got the best jab I have ever seen in boxing. Absolutely incredible jab. And Larry Holmes had about 20 title defenses. Incredible numbers of title defenses. So you're right. We need to sit down and we need to look at
we need to do this.
All these fighters' resume to bring it really closer to Usyk's resume, to compare it very, very well, because I think there's an argument there, but also, there's an argument to say that he is or he isn't. So we need to sit down and we need to have this conversation to make sure that we can conclusively say that Usyk is in the top 10 or is not in the top 10. But right now, if you extend it to top 15, surely you've got to put him in there somewhere.
He's in the top. Usyk is in my top 10 greatest fighters of all time.
Okay.
But he's not in my top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. There's a difference here. Do you know? Okay, for example, Terence Crawford,
Yeah.
Terence Crawford is one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Yeah.
But is he the greatest super middleweight of all time?
Oh, yeah, superweight. Because he's gone through the weight, right? So where do you?
That's what I'm saying. But is he the greatest? Is he the greatest welterweight of all time?
No. Well, that is an argument there. Not super middleweight though.
But
for only Canelo.
But I'm saying at 147 pound, Crawford is the undisputed champion, right?
Yeah.
But is he the greatest 147 pound of all time? Think about the fighters that were 147 pound.
Yeah.
See,
that's
you get it. When we break down the divisions, things start looking a little bit different.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think, and that's why we need to just have a segment on this, and
we'll have a segment and break this down,
and then just go through fighters' resume, who they fought, the defenses, the accolades, the things that they've won, the influence, and you know what, we have to talk about influence as well. Sometimes we have to look at that and talk about you look at someone like Ali, right? He's probably had the most influence on boxing, right?
That's why it's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Mike Tyson on his day had a lot of influence
Mike Tyson,
on boxing. Lennox Lewis on his day had a massive influence. Vladimir Klitschko, even in the boring days where him and his brother were, playing catch up with everyone else and just monopolizing boxing, he still had a little bit of his influence there. So I feel like you have to take a lot more things into consideration. Usyk has had a lot of influence on boxing. Coming up from
also, can I add
division.
one more, Brian? I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Usyk talks about Moisés and he talks about age, right? And he talks about I don't want to break him. When Vladimir Klitschko fought against Tyson Fury, Klitschko was 39, Fury was 27, a 12-year age gap. Yeah. But nobody used the age excuse on Vladimir Klitschko. He was defending his titles, the unified belts. Fury were not won. Klitschko could have said Fury's too young. When Vladimir Klitschko fought against Anthony Joshua at Wembley, Klitschko was 40. Joshua was 27.
Yeah. Like I said, right, there's a lot of argument to make there, and you can look at age and talk about it, but as I said, we need to have a conversation about it, because I think there's more, it's deeper than just Usyk beating 3 or 4 fighters twice. But I feel like you got to take into consideration the era as well, because a lot of people say this is not the most deepest era in boxing, right, in the heavyweight division. So, comparing Usyk to Ali's era, where there were real killers, right, where there were absolutely killers everywhere, you can't compare it because it's not the same era. But you have to, make reasonable adjustments when you make these comparisons. But that is something that we're going to talk about, of course. But guys, get in the comment section and let us know, is Usyk in your top 10 heavyweight boxers of all time, or is it in the top 10 fighters of all time? Let us know, and let us know your argument as well. And guys, don't forget to go and subscribe to Enzo's channel, EMGM Sports. He's one of the realest in the game.